Hey you guys, what is up? It's me, Berlin, back with yet another video because Trisha Paytas has been on a bit of a rant about James Charles. Trish went on the BFFs podcast and she really got into it about James Charles yet again. Trisha is still trying to push this narrative of like, oh, James Charles is a predator, James Charles is this, by saying that he's hanging out with these TikTok girls, you know, like Charlie and Dixie, who are 16 or 19. Come on though, Trish, like honestly, really? Trisha Paytas coming for James Charles for hanging out with 16-year-olds when he's only like 4 or 5 years older and he's mentoring them. I'm like, Trish, you need to leave this one alone because James Charles is not what you're trying to paint him up to be. You know, Trisha keeps on doing this. She keeps on coming for James Charles like this. And honestly, it is pathetic. She is a 32-year-old woman coming for a 21-year-old and a 16-year-old. She's trying to insinuate that it's unsafe for James to be around 16-year-olds. It's so stupid. James is young himself, to be honest. James is 21. So 21 and 16, that is like no difference. Honestly. Yeah, okay, you can do a lot more when you're 21. You know, in the States, you can drink when you're 21. Over here in the UK, it's 18. But a 16 and a 21-year-old, that is the same kind of age group to me. There's no big deal. In my opinion, Trisha coming out doing all this, she's trying to deflect from all the drama and all the heat that has been on Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star this year. Honestly, because she's their friend, she hangs out with them, you know, she's sticking up for Shane at every turn, which, yeah, she's being a loyal friend to Shane, but everyone else on the internet is pretty much cancelled Shane, you know. People don't want to know because of the mistakes that Shane's made in the past and all that kind of stuff. Yes, okay. Should we let people grow and learn? Of course. But all this stuff came out this year about Shane. All this stuff came out this year about Jeffree Star, and he has still not addressed any of it. Jeffree Star has still been being problematic this year. So that's not in the past. So for Trisha to keep trying to deflect from current drama and current issues with her friends, I find that really, really problematic.
Definitely cancel. There's not a bigger pesticide
James
on the internet.
What'd you call him?
A pesticide.
Pesticide. Why do you hate him so much?
He is absolutely disgusting on so many levels. He takes everything and twist like everything. He's never wrong. My biggest thing is with someone is like, hey, take accountability. You know, that's why I don't really like love Logan Paul or Jake Paul, but they take accountability. They like own up when they're wrong. That's why him and like David, but James is even worse because James just gets things wrong so many times. He said that I loved Hitler in his TikTok. He goes, Trisha said Hitler wasn't that bad of a guy. I was like, when did I ever say that? Like, he gets so much shit wrong and can never take accountability for anything. He just hides. He's a little leech onto these people. And he's best friends with a 16-year-old, self-admittedly. And I was like, that's weird. I don't care if you're gay or straight. Don't be best friends with a 16-year-old when you're 21. It's gross.
21, 16 is not that different, but just for the record.
It's very different. It's very different.
Bryce was like 21 when I was 17 and we hung out. So I would have been a minor and he was older. I wouldn't say that was weird.
There's a big power struggle. I'm telling you that just from my own personal experience, and maybe not everyone has had these experiences, but there is something very wrong about someone being friends with a minor, point blank period, 17 and under. Like, it's just wrong. I don't care if you're almost like, it's gross. Like, and 21's big difference in 17 and 18. 21 it's not right. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be hanging out alone with a 16-year-old.
Can we get you on the record as just saying Hitler was a bad guy?
Hitler was not a bad guy. I'm learning more about him every day.
Wait, you just said he wasn't a bad guy.
No, you're right. You said he was not a bad guy. I think we all got to unite that Hitler was a bad guy.
James Charles said on his TikTok, Trisha says Hitler wasn't that bad. I was like, that's what James Charles put in my mouth.
Right. We want to clarify that. You think Hitler was bad.
We want you to say he's terrible right now.
I don't like Hitler.
Hey, there we go.
I'm not in support of him.
Okay. There we go. Thank God. Holy fuck.
Never cancel Shane. He's a treasure. He's the real one, and he's super sweet and humble and kind. And I definitely think he took accountability and took his break off the internet and stuff like that. But I will 1,000% say he's not a bad guy. He's apologized time and time again, has taken accountability.
My problem with Trisha Paytas keeping on at James Charles like this, coming for him for hanging around with people who are a couple of years younger than him, it is so stupid, because Trisha Paytas has done so much worse. We've all seen it, you know. We've all seen her troll the trans community, the DID community. We've all seen her offend so many people and troll so many people. But not only that, Trisha Paytas is, you know, huge on OnlyFans, which is great for her, you know, amazing. But she is on her Twitter posting her arsehole, posting like a lot of stuff that's kind of not safe for work, right? Trisha Paytas is doing that. Does she not think that teenagers can see that? Young people can see that? Yeah, they can. You know, there are definitely young people who follow Trisha Paytas on social media. They're seeing that, what she's posting. So for her to moan about it being inappropriate that James Charles is hanging out with a 16-year-old, that is like the pot calling the kettle black. It really is. It is so fucking hypocritical. Honestly. Like, girl, let it go. And speaking of the whole OnlyFans thing, something that I wanted to bring up about that, because Perez Hilton actually spoke about it in a video yesterday. He made a couple of videos yesterday. One, he was talking about Trisha Paytas and how she's dead to him and all of this stuff. You can go and watch that video yourselves. I'm not really going to talk about that one here, because honestly, it was just Perez on a rant about Trisha pretty much. But the video that he made before that, where he was talking about, we'll call it corn chub. It starts with a P, ends in hub. We're calling it corn chub, okay? That website. Perez Hilton made a video about that website because he'd written an article about that website and he shared it on his own website. Then, because of that, Perez Hilton got a 24-hour ban on Facebook. This is all a little bit crazy, you know, just for writing an article about corn chub, as we're going to call them. So stupid. Yeah, but nearly said it then. Corn chub. They have been taking videos off from unlisted creators because there are really bad videos that have been going up on that website, the Hub website, where people are being sexually abused, and there's a lot of things to do with sex trafficking and a lot of really nasty behavior, basically. So a lot of videos have been scrubbed from that website. Perez Hilton wrote an article on that, shared it to his own website, then, like I said, got a 24-hour ban from Facebook. Perez Hilton has also been banned from TikTok recently. He's really upset about that because, you know, TikTok was a big source of income to him. So he's really upset about that. But Perez Hilton in his own right has also been really problematic. You know, there have been the instances with Perez Hilton doing things like taking an underskirt photo of Miley Cyrus when she was 17 years old and then posting that on the internet. So Perez Hilton now complaining about this corn chub website is a little bit of an about turn, given Perez's own problematic behavior. Maybe he's grown, maybe he's learned, maybe he's changed, I don't know. But Perez also has a history of going after teenagers on the internet, just like Trisha Paytas. So I'm like, Perez, are you trolling? You know, it really doesn't make that much sense to me. Because Perez is gone after Charli D'Amelio. So what we're seeing on the internet at the moment is a lot of these, you know, creators in their 30s, people from MySpace, the MySpace era, going after the teenagers on the internet at the moment, the young TikTokers and all that kind of thing. Is it jealousy? Is it because some of these older people are starting to feel irrelevant because they're starting to feel the heat being cancelled, as it were, by the younger generation? Because they keep getting called out for all their problematic behaviour. Is it jealousy? In Perez's case, I think he very much is falling off and becoming irrelevant. And I think he's doing this to definitely try and get some relevance, get some clout. You know, I don't think he really cares about what was going on the Chawn Chub website, to be honest. You know, I don't think he wrote that article and posted it because he actually cares about that. I think he did it because he thought, oh yeah, look, it'll get me some clout or whatever. Because he did it, then, like I say, got that ban on Facebook for 24 hours. So I'm just like, Perez, I'm side-eyeing you. I am side-eyeing you. I do not know what his motives are at the moment. Also, one thing that I really want to point out is during that video that Perez made about the Chawn Chub website, he was accepting super chats from people, you know, so he was getting money for making that video as well. He was gaining from it financially, you know. So you've really got to think about where his intentions are when he's calling this out. Is it because he wants, you know, what's best for young girls, young women who were being sexually assaulted on the Chawn Chub website? Or is it because he can talk about it and get some coin? I know what I think. Another thing that Perez brought up about social media was that he thinks we're catering to children by, you know, banning certain things, certain words, by banning sexual content in particular, that we're catering to children. Now, this is an interesting thing for me because I can understand Perez's point. You know, I'm 37 and I've been on the internet for years. So for me, I see the younger generation coming in and I see things changing. But I don't think we should completely ban sexual content from the internet at all. No, because, you know, you've got OnlyFans creators who use their Twitter to promote their OnlyFans. That's how they earn their living. You know, I am not against sex workers at all. You know, I'm pro sex workers. But the problem is because we've got the younger generation, these teenagers and these children also using social media apps like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And then you've got, you know, the older generation, people over 18 posting their OnlyFans related stuff and all of this. It's a bit of a conflict because it's not like suitable for the younger generation, but also the people sharing that stuff are just trying to make a living. They're not really doing anything wrong. So, wouldn't it be much better if apps like Twitter and Instagram had an adult version, an over 18s version? Wouldn't that solve a problem? Am I dumb saying that? But wouldn't that solve a problem? Have social media apps for people over 18, for adults, to converse, to meet each other, to support each other. Wouldn't that be awesome? I think that would be amazing. Absolutely amazing. Because then the sex workers can make their coin. They can advertise their work. You know, they can get by. And they're not, you know, putting children at risk or anything. They're not harming children. I think that would be awesome. I don't know why nobody has really thought of this before, but it should definitely be a thing, right? Social media for adults. Absolutely. It needs to happen. Because until then, you've got the, you know, 13, 14, 15-year-olds mixing with and learning things from adults that they shouldn't be learning. I just think it would be much better all round if we had adult versions of these apps. It would solve so much shit with, you know, safety, protecting children. Give them a child version. Give them a teenage version. Let the adults have our version, you know? That would be so much better. So I'm going to stop this video right here. But as always, let me know your comments, your thoughts, your opinions down below, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, guys. Bye.